You wanna know some secrets to shrimp breeding? Check out this video.
Subscribe to my channel.
Welcome back to Bob Moss Nano Tanks. Thanks for joining me today. Today, I'm gonna share with you 5 secrets I have for shrimp breeding. Let's get right into it. Before we do, make sure to smash that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, guys. So the first 2 points are kind of related. They have to do with the shrimp's diet. The first one is gonna be preparing for and feeding the baby shrimp once you have them. Just a basic tip is feeding them powdered food like Bacter AE, the bio mix. Pollen mix is really good, the organic bee pollen. And then also, if you notice here on the clip, the snowflake food, it breaks up and it spreads apart so the adults can get some and the babies can get in there. It's a little better than pellet food for that. Pellet food, especially here, the snails kind of swarm it and the babies don't really get a chance to get on it. So powdered food and snowflake food will prepare you for and will ensure that your babies can eat and have good survival rate. So secret number 2, like I said, it's related to their diet. It's feeding them high protein or high-ish protein. In my opinion, their diet should consist of at least 30% protein. You can probably safely go to like 50-60% protein if you're looking at the stuff that you feed them. I think most of the stuff I have is between 30 and 40% protein, but you want to get a good amount of protein in there so that they can form and hold on to the eggs properly. If they don't have enough protein, they're going to be dropping eggs. They're going to have trouble forming them. They're going to have bad eggs. It's not going to be a good time for you trying to breed the shrimp. Secret number 3 has to do with just the babies again. And that's ensuring you have good spots for the babies, like spots just for the babies, I should say. Whether that's alder cones, I have the dwarf hairgrass here. So when it grows in really tight clumps, the adults can't get to the bottom, but the baby shrimp can get in between all the blades of the dwarf hairgrass. And I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you guys know what I mean, right? I'll point here. So they get in, like when this grows tighter, the adults can't get to the bottom and the babies can. So alder cones are also good for that. Different spots on the dragonstone here, the adults can't get in, so that will be really good for the babies. Also, if you have good plant life, like in this tank, I have a bunch of Subwassertang and I have all the Java moss that's been growing really, really well. And it provides little nooks and crannies for just the babies to get to. Very, very important. All right, my secret number 2, something people just don't tell you for some reason, is the male to female ratio of your shrimp. If you have too many males to your female count, when the females molt and they're ready to reproduce, they're going to be harassed. And they'll be harassed, if you have too many, they'll eventually be harassed to death because they'll pick one, they'll fertilize, and then they'll try and hide and harden up their shell, and they won't be able to because all these males will still be going after the pheromones, and it starts to become a snowball effect. So the first one dies. Let's say it's a 2-to-1 male to female ratio, like you have 2 males for every 1 female, but then one of your females dies. Well, then that ratio starts to increase and it starts to go up, and then bad things happen. So you want to ensure you have enough females. For me, after you start the breeding, like the initial 10 to 20 shrimp you get, you have very little control over the male to female ratio in it. So just go with what you have. Don't call those shrimp. Let them reproduce. Some might die off, you know, things you have to deal with, but you're gonna let your shrimp reproduce. And then once you have the babies and once they grow to a sexually mature age, that's when you can start going through and picking out. You usually have to pick out low quality males first. That's how I call, or that's how I'm going to call. And then once you're to, I guess I should actually state the ratio, right? You want at least a 2-to-1 ratio in a breeding tank, but preferably a 3-to-1 or a 4-to-1 female to male ratio. So for every 3 to 4 females, 1 male shrimp. And if you go back, it's a very short video I made a while back on how to sex shrimp. It's really simple. I mean, even here, you can see this one up here is a female. It's fat. She actually has eggs on her. This one here looks like a male. These 2 look like males, actually, just looking at them real quick. And then female, I think that's a female. So yeah, sexing shrimp is really easy. So I have a good ratio, as you can tell there. There's like 5 females to the 2 males that I could see. And yeah, it's just really, really important to make sure you have long-term breeding success. And finally, my number 1 tip for breeding shrimp, especially Neocaridina. I actually think I said it in the last video as well. Drum roll, please. crushed coral. But crushed coral in your Neocaridina tanks does a couple things. It helps stabilize the pH, like I said in my last video about the differences between Caridina and Neocaridina. Now you don't want to put this in Caridina shrimp tanks. For that, you're going to want the alder cones, you're going to want Indian almond leaves, you're going to want driftwood, rocks with hiding places, things like that. And the active substrate is what buffers your pH. So for the Caridina tanks, this helps buffer the pH, prevents parameter swings. It helps add a bit of KH to the water, which helps with the aforementioned pH and parameter swings. Kind of repeating myself, I'm sorry. It also provides some nooks and crannies, if you look really closely there, for the baby shrimp to go into. Now I wish I could get a good shot of the green jade crushed coral, but it's behind the sponge filter, so the sponge filter is kind of blocking it. But on that one especially, you can see a bunch of baby shrimp. I think on this one here, you can see seed shrimp running around on it. So it provides a lot of little nooks and crannies for the baby shrimp to be able to graze in. That's the word I'm looking for. And yeah, the only downside to it is that it's this bright white thing in my tank, so you have to hide it behind stuff, especially if you have a darker substrate. You can see there, it's I mean, it's not the most visually appealing thing. It definitely helps the breeding success of your Neocaridina tanks in the long run. All right, so those are my 5 secrets, my 5 tips for shrimp breeding success. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Leave a comment below if you think I missed any obvious tips or anything, or if any of my tips helped you out. Remember guys, keep your shrimp hands strong. Till next time. I think I nailed it. I think I nailed it. How am I gonna do this? Or maybe, yeah, so when I come in like this. Psst. Do you wanna know secrets on shrimp breeding? Check out this video. Psst. You wanna know some secrets to shrimp breeding? Check out this video. I'll come in on the other side too. Hey, you wanna know some secrets to shrimp breeding? Check out this video. Hey, you wanna know the secrets to breeding shrimp? Check out this video. One of those has to not be creepy. Welcome back to Bob Moss Nanotanks. Thanks for joining me. Fuck. Welcome back to Bob Moss Nanotanks. No. Before we get into it, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Okay, so let's, yeah, over here, okay. Secrets of shrimp breeding. My first 2 secrets, tips are kind of related, but we'll start with the first one, the most obvious to me, is feeding them powdered food. Why can't I catch my breath? I can sit down while I do this. So the first 2 tips are kind of related, and the first one is a bit obvious to me at least, and they relate to the shrimp's diet. Man, I should, when it grows really, oh no, I'm in the reflection. Can I get in there? I need to stabilize this. Clearly can't get into the other one, so this is gonna have to do this and this and this. So it does a couple things, that's the last thing I said. So it does a couple things, but it definitely helps your tank. What am I trying to say? We'll pop this bad boy on and get some cool footage. Actually, let's come down here. There we go.